Well, Darren, I do believe it's time for four down territory.
You're in four down territory.
Well, let's jump right in. Darren, who is your sure thing pick of the week?
Well, I I think you just have to go with the obvious if you're going to talk about the sure thing. So for me, the sure thing is Georgia. Great as the stories it would be, Georgia over Kentucky is the sure thing for me. How about you, Ben?
I'm going to go out and say the sure thing for this week will be the winner of the biggest rivalry game this weekend. And I've been tuning up my voice. I was never asked to be in any kind of musical, but I've been practicing. Oh, Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains. I've got this. Mark it down. The Sooners are going into the Cotton Bowl, and they are going to beat the Texas Longhorns.
Can I just say, I absolutely love making an upset pick a sure thing pick. That is magnificent. You talking about, we were talking to the Sooners fans saying, we see you, we hear you. I think the Sooners fans are going to hear you on that one. That's fantastic.
How about your upset pick of the week?
Well, I'm going to make my upset pick your sure thing pick. How's that? I am. It's exciting to me that this is going to be an SEC game next year. How much fun is that? That the Red River Rivalry is going to be an SEC game next year. So that's super exciting. But I think part of what's going to make it even more exciting next year is how exciting of a game it's going to be, and Oklahoma wins it this year. I think that's going to add even more to it. So I think Oklahoma pulls off the upset, and it's a Boomer Sooner kind of Saturday. How about you?
My upset comes with one caveat. As long as Jimbo Fisher can stay off the field, I've got the I've got the Texas A&M Aggies pulling off the upset at home over the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Did you memorize some of your Aggie cheers, or no? You don't.
I don't know any of those cheers.
Well, there's 19,000 of them. How would you? I don't even know that the people there know them. They just hope somebody close to them does.
It's kind of like, have you ever gone to the game where they do their fights or their alma mater or whatever, and you're looking around and does anyone know this?
The most known words of any alma mater was like the last 6 words. You guarantee everybody knows the last 6 words because that's when it gets the loudest. That's when everybody knows.
So when my son played football at East Texas Baptist University, we'd go to the games and they'd always do their song, and they're the Tigers, but there was this hand motion. I don't know. I don't even know how they did it. I remember looking over at people like, okay, do I put my index finger here? Where do I put my ring finger? It's totally confusing. Everyone's got their own particular, here's our sign, and I don't know. I never figured it out.
I hate to sound like 2 old men, but that's a new thing. I don't remember when I was in high school, and I'm assuming it's the same when you were in high school. We just had a song and we sang it, right? It was the alma mater. You sang it, you got through it. But even when my son in high school, it going here locally, everybody had their hands hooked and kicked their foot this way, and I'm just like, just sing. Let's get through it and move on. You don't even know the words, like we've already talked about. Why go through all that? I agree. A little bit of a sidetrack there.
What about your brown bag pick of the week, Darren?
I'm going directly at Auburn fans. I understand excitement when things go a little bit better than you anticipated them going. Believe me, I understand. Oh, look, my hand's being eaten. Believe me, I understand as a Vanderbilt fan. That being said, if you look at any point of this game this past week and use the phrase "we're back" or "we're back, baby," that is a double bag, brown bag. Don't Do it. Be excited that your defense looked the way it did, but you still can't throw a forward pass. You're not back. Let's not do that. If you're using that and you think it's a moment that says you're back, it's a brown bag moment. I feel better. How about you? What's your brown bag?
Darren, that's so well said. I agree with you 110%. Especially if you don't win the game, you're not back.
Exactly. Agree. Completely agree.
So my brown bag pick of the week, let me start with some numbers. 55.
Oh no. And that is
55 allowed.
uh-huh.
711 yards of offense allowed. 21 fourth quarter points allowed. 34 missed tackles. 31 points allowed per game up to this point in the college football season. A defense that ranks 108th. That's out of 133 teams. The second worst defense in the SEC. I'm sorry about this, Darren. After Vanderbilt.
You got to be good at something or first place in something.
And I got that statistic from Shea Dixon. I want to make sure I give credit to where credit is due. But I am just absolutely appalled at the LSU defense. Now, I listened to Brian Kelly today, and he said it's about teaching, about execution. He's saying all the things that a head coach is supposed to say. He's supposed to support his defensive coordinator. But when we're looking at this is a horrific run of horrible, absolutely horrible defense. Look, there is no learning curve in the SEC. You're getting 4- and 5-star players. Play them. The notion that we're gonna stick with a veteran who's not performing well when you got a 5-star freshman on the bench, throw the freshman out there. I mean, how much worse can you get? You just gave up 55 points, 711 yards of offense, 21 fourth quarter points. You missed 34 tackles. Get somebody on the field that can make a tackle. Go back, take him to rec ball on some when you don't have a game and say, look how they teach these little kids how to tackle. Do y'all remember this? Do you remember this is how we tackle?
Well said. Well said.
I about lost my cool there. There's that black spot coming back.
Your face started to melt. There was so much heat in the moment. That's what that was.
Darren, if you said LSU is going to score 49 points, do you think they're going to win? I would take that bet every single time. Every time. To give up 55. Now, Lane Kiffin, all credit to Ole Miss. They played a great game. Lane Kiffin, man, he was prepared. Incredible. So I definitely want to give them credit. But what an atrocious showing by the LSU defense. I am just so I know they're disappointed too, but as a fan, I think we've come to expect more, and they don't have you don't get this we're in this learning curve, or you better get it together this week at Missouri, or people are going to start to seriously think, should we have hired Brian Kelly?
Yeah. All great points. Very, very good points. Painful, and believe me, I understand, but great points.
Where's the Tylenol? Goodness. Is this about over now? I got the shakes all of a sudden. Ooh, I'm sweating.
Diet Dr. Pepper, if you could come out with a drink that has acetaminophen, I think that would this might help us get through the season at this point. All right, well, let's turn to something that at least can make us smile. How about our post-game quote of the week? And when you're having the kind of year that Kentucky is having, our good friend Mark Stoops, you can have a little bit of levity in your press conference, especially when you're coming off a win like they had this week. So here's what Coach Stoops had to say about the Kentucky fan base and how the crowd reacted in the game this week.
With the amount of beers that you asked Blue Boot Nation to pound this morning, did you feel like you owed it to them to really give it to Florida in the first half?
I absolutely had to start fast for them, because I asked them to start fast this morning. I think they did. I hope they behaved well, or Mitch is going to give me a scolding. So I hope they behaved. But we jump out at such a strong start, and at the end they were kind of quiet. I'm like, they just come to expect this kind of win now from from us. So no, we always appreciate it. It was a fun environment, and really glad we got off to a good fast start.
Fun stuff.
Good to see Coach Stoops smiling, and he did tell him to start early, didn't he?
He did challenge them, and apparently from his perspective, they answered the bell. So